All right, before we start getting into the picks, Dana, let's pick up where you and I left off a couple Thursdays ago. Let's do a post-deadline, all right, update for the futures. Since the deadline's over, what's the update? Who holds the edge, both in the conference championships and the Stanley Cup? All right, I went through it, and I'm looking at the Washington Capitals plus 450 on the Stanley Cup futures. What are your thoughts on this, and is there any major movement since the trade line is over?
You know what, Mike? I don't think there was any moves during the trade deadline that really would catapult a team into the next level. And we've talked about this ad nauseum about, the Washington Capitals was probably the one team that you can point to that's made a significant move to make their defense better with getting Shattenkirk. But then at the same time, we saw them go down to Dallas and get totally annihilated last night. So I don't think there was anybody that really increased their ability to win a Stanley Cup. I know there was a lot of depth moves because you have a lot of teams that were scared to give up their draft picks in order to make moves just because they know that perhaps they would use those draft picks to ward Las Vegas off of their current roster. Wow. So, for me, Mike, I'm still all over and all in on the Pittsburgh Penguins. I still think that they are the deepest team, and I think that their pedigree will shine through when the playoffs come.
Well, that was Montreal did pretty good, I think, in the trade deadline. They got some good key players, not big names, but some toughness. They got bigger, and in the playoffs, if you want to go far, you need some big players that can grind it out and take care of their.
They must be a hell of. What are they right now?
They've won 5
Yeah,
in a row.
but what are they for the futures, Dana? Do you have it in front of you?
The Montreal. I don't have the futures in front of me.
Well, I don't have Montreal because I have everybody else. I don't think anybody's even considering them. You might have a good dark horse there. But speaking of the Penguins, I remember when Dana brought that up, and I thought you kind of jumped on board as well. That could be dangerous. Right now, they're plus $1,000, okay, to win the Stanley Cup championship.
Plus $1,000?
Yeah, I mean I like that. Plus 1,000, and then
that would be 10-1.
The East and the West. Okay, look at it. I mean, right now Pittsburgh plus 450 to win the East. I like that. I think they can. I think Washington might be in for another rough playoff run this year.
They got the goaltending, and they've gotten a little bit of a scoring slump the last 3 or 4 games.
Yes.
Before that, they were on fire, scoring 5 goals, 12 games in a row.
They were
at home.
trending over like a
so
big
now
time,
they're kind of done. So the key is to get hot just before the playoffs and ride that into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
hey, let me ask both of you guys. Columbus has had an amazing season. I mean, what a team. All right, is this no respect or what? They're plus 1,400, all right, to win the Stanley Cup championship, and they're plus 650 to win the East. What are your thoughts on that, and do you think they're getting the respect I think that they deserve?
Well, for me, Mike, I mean, I certainly respect them, and I know that there's a lot of people that have kind of shied away from them after their long winning streak, and I just don't understand how. I mean, they took a little bit of a dip, but show me a team that hasn't. I mean, even the Pittsburgh Penguins has taken a little bit of a dip here and there. I mean, I'm all in on the Columbus Blue Jackets. To me, the only problem with them is they play in the same conference as the Pittsburgh Penguins. And I kind of go back and forth. There's some teams that I think that if they get in, they can make a lot of noise. But then there's the other teams that I know is going to make a lot of noise. And in all honesty, I have my reservations still about the Washington Capitals. So I think for me, the Columbus Blue Jackets are every bit as dangerous as the Washington
they're
Capitals.
Like the Minnesota Wild to me, but
exactly.
It's the name recognition on that team. Yeah. Who are the names?
Yeah.
Who are the stand-up players? Yeah. You don't have the Crosby, you don't have the Ovechkins.
You don't. What you have is absolute teamwork. There's no selfishness.
You don't have the Carey Prices, all those teams. So it's
and it comes
but they're
from good
a good
coaching.
Team. A good team. Good.
I think that would be a nice little dark horse at plus 1,400.
Minnesota
really.
Wild too. Take a look at them too. They're keeping winning
Minnesota,
and dominating.
I don't even know what they are. Well, actually, Minnesota's plus 225 to win the West. All right, that could be dangerous. Also, that team really.
But Chicago's getting hot too now.
I saw that. I was going to ask Dana and you both. What do you think of Chicago? And as Scott Carter just said, they're starting to get hot. Do you think they keep the momentum going?
Well, I mean, for me, guys, I mean, I still harp back to their special teams. I need them to be better on special teams, and they're just not. I mean,
they got about 18 games to do it. To get it together. Yeah.
I mean, they're certainly one of those teams to look at, but the other thing is, too, I really want to back teams that generate a lot of offensive opportunities. And, again, the Chicago Blackhawks are certainly amongst the better teams in the league at doing that, but are they amongst the elite teams of doing that? And I just don't think so at this point. I mean, you want to talk about dark horses. I mean, I still think that if you tell me that Nashville is going to be there in the end, I think that that's a probable scenario. But for me, the West is wide open at this point, and even a team like the Edmonton Oilers, who I argue all the time that probably are a year away in most people's eyes. But if you say, look, they're going to be in the Western Conference Finals, I mean, that wouldn't make me blink. Superstars have a way of elevating their team and their own game when big events are on the line. And Connor McDavid is one of the best players in the NHL, as we know. And I don't mind riding superstars the same way I don't mind riding Sidney Crosby in the East.
Yeah.
Well, in the East, there's 6 teams vying for one playoff spot. In the West, it's 5 teams realistically. I mean, if you count Vancouver in there, that are just kind of 6 points out, so they still got a chance supposedly. But I mean, 11 teams vying for 2 spots.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of teams out there that who knows if they get in. It's going to be a hell of a achievement to get in, and then they could go and ride away. Go ahead.
Here's the thing, guys. I mean, I hate to go, with this theory again. But because I'm a guy that just says, the guys that win the Stanley Cup or are in the Stanley Cup the season before, I'm just not down with them to do it again. It takes a lot, not only, physically, but the mental aspect of getting back there after you either have won it or lost it is a tough hurdle many times. But really in the West, I mean, you looked at San Jose last night that went up and played Winnipeg in a must-win game for the Jets, and they absolutely handled them. I mean, tell me in the West, who's better than the San Jose Sharks at this point?
They're plus 500 right now, and the Nashville Predators are plus 1,400 to win the West. I think both of those teams, and I really, really like San Jose with their experience as well. And, they went and put it on the damn Winnipeg Jets, and that just showed that Winnipeg didn't have enough in the tank, when the time counted. And it also showed me that San Jose, they're gearing up. And
that was a great game, though. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Fantastic game. Winnipeg did get a point at the end out of it.
I know.
So they came back.
But still, for San Jose to go and do that, knowing that team's in a must-win, that shows me a hell
with
of a
their
lot.
backup goalie too. With their backup goalie, yeah.
All right, well, that's pretty much a nice update. And again, there's nothing major that shaked as far as the numbers moving the futures to where drastically, but there's still some good advantages and some good dark horses. So make sure you check that out. All right, with that being said,
hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.